All right, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this fine Monday afternoon. I'm going to move this over a little bit, get my fat finger out the way there. Sorry about that. I hope everyone is doing well. I apologize if I cough in this video. I have allergies. Never had allergies until I moved to Minnesota. I guess I'm allergic to pine trees. My whole house is surrounded by pine trees. So I'm not complaining because I love the shade, but man, the allergies are getting me. So eating Claritin like it's candy. Today's video du jour is, well, it's a weird one because it's an oldie, but it's not old. And I've done a video on the core book, and what book is that? It is Against the Darkmaster, the core rules. This is a tome, boys. This is a chunky monkey here. Prepare your dice and get ready to fight. Powered by Open D100 system. If you're a Rollmaster, MERP, Middle Earth role-playing, or HARP, High Adventure role-playing, all of those games are from Iron Crown Press, then you're going to be familiar with this system. This is 563 pages, includes an extensive index, table of contents. The book is gorgeous. I've done a review. Go back into doobly-doo and watch it. Against the Darkmaster, the classic game of fantasy adventure. I mean, guys, this is a ripoff of, and I don't want to say a ripoff, that's bad. This is a clone of MERP or Rollmaster. Or HARP. It uses that D100. Anything over 100 is a success, and then it's varying degrees as you go higher than that. It's a percentage-based system. I'm not going to lie. It's Math Blaster. You need a calculator. I'm pretty good with addition and subtraction in my head, so I've never really had a problem with it. But I know a lot of people aren't, and they nowadays with the personal confusers, the Google phone or the iPhone, you got a calculator at your hands all the time. So this is a great, fun system if you're into that. If you're into the crunchy numbers, very detailed character creation. Like I said, I've said all of this in the review of the actual game. But what I wanted to talk about today was the Kickstarter. Pardon me, I'm messing up everything here. The Kickstarter that just came in for Secrets of the Golden Throne, a fairy tale fantasy source book for Against the Darkmaster. So they popped this Kickstarter right after they finished fulfilling Against the Darkmaster Kickstarter, which is awesome because they waited until they fulfilled, which I see so many companies not doing this, and it's pretty much led me. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here. I'm against Kickstarters again. I haven't backed anything in quite a while, and that's because I'm tired of tying up $100 to $200, sometimes less, sometimes more, of my money and waiting 2+ years. I think for Pixel Dice and for Orb Dice, I've been waiting well over 2 years. Still haven't received my rewards. They keep saying they're coming. It's always one excuse after another, and I get it. I understand, the shipping industry is in chaos and costs have skyrocketed. Getting a physical book nowadays, your standard tabletop RPG now is $79, $89. If you go on drive-through and you want a physical copy of a book, it's going to cost you $79 plus, $78, $78.99. So books are not cheap. My friend WikiSnapper made Project Sunflower, and I wanted to back that so much, but I just couldn't afford. I backed it at the PDF level. I couldn't back a physical book because I can't afford $100 for an RPG, and it's a beautiful RPG, and my friend made that RPG. I want to support him, but like I said, I did support at the PDF level because I feel, at least at the PDF level, I can get my stuff relatively early, and I don't have to wait for shipping from China. And if I really like it at that point, I'll buy the physical book. And I get that. And some people say, well, you're not supporting the creators. I am. Because first of all, go out there and look at how many other YouTubers there are that do videos, reviews on Project Sunflower or Against the Darkmaster or Legends of the Five Rings, or you know, any of the other plethora of games out there that aren't D&D or Pathfinder. There's hardly anybody. I mean, there's one or two guys that are doing it, but I've got over 540 videos up of different RPGs. I mean, I support the indie community wholeheartedly, but I mean, I got to do what's in my pocketbook, right? So that being said, this was one of the last Kickstarters that I physically backed a book for. And I got to say, I'm pleasantly surprised. Delivered relatively on time. I don't think it was terribly late. I don't honestly remember. But I know it wasn't horrible. It's been at least a year, I think, or a good 9 months, maybe more. But I got my bang for my buck. I mean, I don't even remember, you know, I guess I should log in and see here before I start, you know, I'm not talking out my ass, so to speak. Let's go to Kickstarter.com and see. I think this was a Kickstarter. I don't think it was like Backer It or GameForge or whatever. Kickstarter.com. I'm tired of everybody, you know, just taking forever to get your stuff. And I know there's a lot of publishers out there that need the support. And it's just, you know, it is what it is, you know, and so I take that back. The last Kickstarter I supported for a physical product was Coriolis, the Great Dark RPG, and Nightfell, a setting for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, just because I really liked it. And I think those are the only two. Everything else I've done is PDF. I'm trying to see here. Pardon the dead air here. I'm a little fuzzy. I got all these cold medicines in me. So Secret of the Golden Throne was $45. So I paid $45 for this book. And I think if you buy this book retail now, it would cost you well over $65, $70 for, you know, this many. How many pages are in here? This thing is chock full of goodness, though, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm actually very happy that I backed a physical book. So we've got a character sheet in here. We're looking at, these are the pre-gens. So there's no page numbers. I wish there was. I love the pre-gens, though, because you can just get in and start playing right away. We're looking at 350 plus pages, I believe. So it did come with a nice little bonus. Came with a nice Golden Throne bookmark. That was kind of a neat. I opened it up and that fell out, and I was like, whoa! So I thought that was pretty cool. And I do believe, sorry, I do believe with Against the Darkmaster, I got bookmarks as well. The art in here is phenomenal, first of all. If you like the art in Against the Darkmaster, you're going to love this because it's the same artist. We get some new racial classes or character classes or character races. We get some new careers. We get some new not careers. I can't. You can play an ogre now. Water elf, gnome, changeling, which I think is kind of cool. Character options. Some new kins. There we go. New kins. Let's see. Did they give us new? So we got the Azrai, which are basically water elves. Ogres. You can play an ogre now. Cultures, that's what it is. That's what the word I was trying to think of. So the way this works is kind of very similar to Pathfinder, ABC, Ancestry, background, and class. But in this case, it's Ancestry, which is, you know, basically your race. Your background is your class, and then your culture would be, it would be your background, and then your class is just that, your class. Let's see, I don't know if they give us any new, we got new cultures. I wish they gave us a list. So aquatic, court, and enchanted. So Secrets of the Golden Throne takes place in Awalin, which is a separate land from the lands that are in Against the Darkmaster, meaning that you can pop this into, if you're running Rollmaster, you could pop this into Rollmaster, Harp, MERP, if you're still playing MERP. Those are all great games, still playable, in my opinion, to this day. And you can, new backgrounds, we get a whole bunch of backgrounds. cunning trickster, dashing swashbuckler, diplomatic envoy, hedge mage, knightly virtue, linguist, primal fury, unassuming outlook, wild child, untapped talent. And then it goes right into the campaign options of adventures and Awalin. And it gives you just a bunch of information and how ogres fit in and all the different races and stuff. It's really well laid out. The art is phenomenal. The page layout is really well done. It is a chart game. You're going to be referencing a lot of charts depending on what kind of, do you do magic, do you do melee, do you do ranged? And the critical hits are pretty awesome. There's a cast of characters. I don't want to show too much because this is an adventure, but there's all kinds of mines. There's a cast of characters. They go in and list the villains and the areas, and it's really it's just a full campaign all in one. There's the king. I'll tell you, he's missing a hand, so if you get it. But there's lots of good stuff in here. The art is black and white. I don't believe there's any color plates. I don't think there were in the first one. The art is fantastic. I mean, we're talking, big pages of characters, and everything is very simple, very laid out. People of Awalin, like here's there's a guy right there, and some people there. Lord Aliel of the Lyre, Lord Falcale of the Lyre. These are just NPCs that'll be in your game. Jarl Lugrid of the Lyre, Lyre, Llyr. Some villains, and it tells you their goals. So it really lays it out. You're going to have a good idea of what's going on. There's some dungeon diagrams and stuff. So if you wanted to pop this into your VTT, I mean, I'm not sure if there's an Against the Darkmaster VTT out there for Fantasy Grounds. I believe there is. I think someone made one. I do remember playing it, and it seemed pretty good. So I'm going to have to go and look. Oddly enough, the funny part is this is not one I want to GM. I want to play this. I think it's a really cool game, and I want to play. I had made a Furbolg. It was either a Furbolg or a giant. I don't remember. Female, basically mage, and she was pretty dope, and I really enjoyed it. I played with the Batman off of the Discord channel, and just back when supplements used to have some content, some meat. I mean, this is 350 pages of goodness right here, guys. Good quality black and white art. Nice parchment style paper. The paper has a nice feel to it. It's thick. You're not going to worry about ripping this as you're turning the pages unless you're super aggressive. But again, it's got a little bit of a bestiary in it. It's got a cast of characters. It's got locations, all the bad guys that you need. And it's a full-on campaign. You can run this right out of the book, set it in your world, and you can have fun with it and do a lot of cool things. So there's lots of neat stuff in here. And it's just a really good add-on to your Against the Darkmaster book. I would be tempted to play in this. I would be tempted to run this, the Golden Throne, Secrets of the Golden Throne, but I really want to play. So if you're a GM and you're running the game and you want an experienced player, hit me up. I want to play. There's also on Drive-Thru RPG, there is some software. Sorry. There is some software for this game that helps you make a character. I've had a hard time getting it to work on my Mac, but I did get it to work on my laptop. I have a old HP clunker laptop, but it does work. It runs Windows 10, and it's working just fine. So very happy. On a side note, Iron Crown Enterprises hired the guy that had made their original character management software a couple of years ago. I think it was back in the days of XP. They finally got him to make it all right because there was a lot of complaints. I won't even go into that. But I got sent a free link because I had purchased it. And so I was able to download it. And I got to say, it's pretty snazzy. I'm kind of liking the way it works. It's got a nice GUI. It's very simple. And to be honest, change a couple of the names. I believe it'll allow you to import data. So you could make your own custom custom database, so to speak, and you should be able to import this stuff. It would take a lot of time and effort, but I think if you had the PDF, you could cut and paste, and input that data and parse it. That's beyond my skills. I'm a simple IT monkey that fixes things. That's where my talents lie. I'm not a programmer. But either way, the software for this game, and I wish I had the name of it right in front of me. I'm sorry I don't. Is if you just do against the Darkmaster software on DriveThruRPG, use my affiliate link. You'll find it. I'll try to put a link to it in the show notes. But I just wanted to give a shout out to this because I think it's really good supplement. It's an intriguing adventure. I haven't read the whole thing because, like I said, if I'm going to play it, I don't want to ruin it. But the art in here, the layout of the book, I don't know what it's going to retail for, but it's going to be worth your bucks if you're into that. If you're into high fantasy, fairies and things like that in your, fantasy RPG, this might be a neat tool to add. If you're playing D&D or Pathfinder, you could add this in there as a setting or whatever. Because the mechanics are just a fairy is a fairy, right? But the lands, if you wanted to add that. So I'm babbling. I've got a really bad cough. I don't want to keep you guys on here too long. As always, like and subscribe. Support me on Patreon if you can. Hit me up on Discord. There's a link in the doobly-doo. And as always, peace and hair grease. And remember, as always, Mr. Mean says, be nice.